We're back with our What's Next series, answering questions about how to get to the next step of your API journey with an API marketplace. So you're in the line of business, you know you really want to start monetizing or at least generating some value from your APIs. William McKinney, Axway's Senior Director of Amplify Platform Marketing, joins us for more on how to enlist your IT team on this. So, William, someone on the business end, they might be sure that an API marketplace is the answer to getting more results. But how do they get developers to use that central marketplace?
Well, I think it starts with what line of business is probably really good at already, which is understanding the customer. It's how do I put myself in the shoes of that potential customer? The only difference is the customer here is a developer. And it's not necessarily who we normally think of as the consumer of our product or service. But you've got to design your product, your API products for that target audience. And you've got to provide them with a superior customer experience, a UX experience, and you've got to get the word out that lets them know how to find and use it. I think the next step is really simplifying the process of what they have to go through to actually adopt or use your API product. You know, that's the process of discovery, of how I actually try it out. Is there documentation that answers my questions? And then how do I actually go around about subscribing to it so that I can get the security credentials in order to actually access and start putting it into production. You've got to provide the full range of examples, of documentation, and one of the ways a lot of companies measure that is to reduce the time to the first call of that API in reality. So whatever you can do to reduce that time is going to make a difference for that developer, and it's also going to make a difference for adoption. And I think the last thing is, even as line of business is very metrics driven and looking at performance, for instance, of their APIs and that kind of thing, you have to give that same level of analytics to the consumer of that API, to that developer, that lets them know if you're performant, that is it working? How much are you charging me if indeed you're charging for your APIs? So giving them a view into what's happening is also a key element that will differentiate you in the marketplace. So keep your consumer in mind. In this case, it's a developer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a marketplace. There's a little bit of marketing involved towards your customer.
That's right. I mean, you have got to not just have the tools and the technology. You have to get the word out. You have to recruit them. You have to do things like leaderboards and gamify some aspects of it in order to attract and get those to adopt your APIs, whether that's internally or whether that's your trusted partners or truly any external developer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, wonderful. We'll be back with some extra next steps on your API journey to an API marketplace next.